They get on an adventure. They meet a new toy that, oh shit, turns out to be the villain. Oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, you did. You know how this goes. They all go back.
Like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, just The Walking Dead.
Except it's good in this case.
So, a few days ago, I was going through my top 10, except I didn't actually make it all the way up. I only had time to get to number 6 for my top 10 movies of 2019. So, let's pick it up from there. Do the top 5 before we move on to these gentlemen over here so they can put their top movies in. And let me pick it up with number 5.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, shit. What the Kill it. As the kids say, burn it with fire. You're probably asking yourself, now this is Toy Story 4. Why number 5 is up there in your top 5 now? Why? One simple answer. I'm going to answer with a question. How the are they doing this?
Yeah. Wow.
This is 4 movies in. These movies are, and I'll tell you, these movies are always on my list because they always have my ass crying. And why do they have me crying? Because it's one simple rule that Hollywood should be following. Make a good movie.
Yeah. Story first.
Story first. You know why this works? It's because, first of all, we recognize these characters. We've lived a long time with these characters. A long time with these characters. And it's like, whenever we revisit them, it's like going back to see old friends. Woody and Buzz and
the
some
gang.
and the gang and some new Wood and the gang and some new characters that are introduced in every film. And it feels good to come back to see those characters because the filmmakers, they have not f***ed them up because they don't make sequels just to get it out on a time limit. They don't. Have you noticed that some of these movies, they spend a lot of time before the next one comes out, and no one can pull that whole thing of, oh man, that's a property from so long ago, and why'd you pull that old shit out? It was destined not to work. No, the reason why it lasts because every movie has been written well, directed well. It's some of the most creative filmmaking that you have, and they make a great story. They write a good script. And it works because, have you noticed, the reason why it's not higher on my list is because they follow a formula. One, they always introduce you to a new character.
No clouds.
I don't belong here.
Kill me! Forky was great. Forky's an addition that we have that everybody loved, but they also follow the same formula for every movie, man. One of the toys escapes. They have to, Woody or somebody in the gang have to go and find them. They get on an adventure. They meet a new toy that, oh shit, turns out to be the villain. Oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, you did. You know how this goes. They all go back.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, just The Walking Dead.
Except it's good in this case.
Maybe The Walking Dead should be done with action figures.
Might as well be.
Might have to animate it, yeah. But the best Walking Dead is the animated one from the games.
From the Telltale games.
And then everybody gets back together, and before it's done, they give you a reason to cry.
Oh, yeah.
It follows the same thing. That's why it's not high on my list, but they do that, and they make it work better than the last every time. Let's go to number 4. My number 4 movie as best movie of 2019.
Ding. Would you please stop bothering my kid?
I have some bad news for you.
And you can tell by that laugh, that would be Joker. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy and debate arguing over this movie, and I don't give a shit, man. If you get past the hype and the expectation of something that wasn't even there in the first place, this expectation of, man, that wasn't deep. That ain't what message were they trying to do? There was no message, people. That was done by everybody else but the film. That was hyped up by everybody else. People looking at the trailer, trying to examine it. They were comparing it to Martin Scorsese's other movies. Sure. Oh, this is other people. It's a statement about mental health. It's a statement about people even trying to say incels. It's incels. It's a statement about the incel movement. And no, it was none of that. It was none of that.
Or scapegoating it that said it was going to cause violence and things. Yeah.
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 Yeah, people. I thought a lot of hate came from this movie from people who expected more because of the hype. It was not trying to make some deep statement. What it was trying to do, it was trying to just do a graphic novel take on a very popular character in a way that has not been done before. And they took a gamble, and it worked. And the reason why I liked it so much is because, yeah, I mean, this is just the story of the Joker. And it could have been done in a way. Look, we've seen DC fuck up in many ways.
Yes.
And they could have done this. They could have shat this out and made it all colorful and still made it rated R. But the director, what's his name?
Phillips.
No. Todd Phillips. They put in some brilliant filmmaking into this. Now, you can say Martin Scorsese influenced this and, he was copying him. So what? He did it well. If you're going to copy somebody, do it the best of your ability. And they never tried to hide that. Todd Phillips said, this is my Martin Scorsese film, and I just took the Joker to do it. They were very transparent with this movie. Other people were bullshitting with it. It's a beautifully filmed, edited, and well-told story. For me, the scenes just flowed, and I think that the risk paid off of what they did for making a rated R standalone. And for me, some other people would argue it who've seen it, but I don't think that the violence in it was exploitive. I think it was part of the story. They could have done a lot more in there. My number 3 movie.
Okay.
That is Parasite, just in case you couldn't tell by the Korean.
It's one of the movies popping up on a lot of people. Almost everybody's top.
Why do you think that is?
Well, one, the director is a critic's darling, but it is a really good movie.
Exactly.
That just takes you in ways that you don't expect. It's so rare to get something so fresh like this. And just when you think you're already liking it, digging it, you know what it's about, it does this twist, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, this just turned in a very dark and interesting way.
Yeah.
As I watch it continue to surprise me.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
Yep. Yeah, respect to the crazy ass mind that came up with this. It's told so clever and so methodically in the way it unravels that you think you know where it's going because it's moving so slow, and you don't. You sit up here laughing, you have a good time, and by the end of it, you're like, it's insane, man, where it goes, but it makes sense.
You also switch your allegiances back and forth.
Constantly.
You do.
Yeah.
It really is one of the most original movies that I've seen in 2019 with the way its story takes so many twists and turns without being some crazy art house shit. Because I've given you some crazy movies that made my list, but they were really insane. This right here, it makes perfect sense.
Just tells a good story.
It's also a great looking film, too. I love the modern decor.
Yep.
They even made the slums look beautiful, man.
At night.
They had people in the movie. They had a leak, and people were swimming in sewage. Oh yeah. And I'll start to put my swimming trunks on. Hold on, I want to get into it. No, you don't know. You just cannot predict where anything is going, but it's just like, again, so cleverly told, man. It seems so simple because it's moving so slow, and you think you laugh and you think you know what's happening, but as it goes along, you really realize what a complicated film it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was I really thought it was a brilliant film. My number 2 movie of the year.
She is a mother who plays, really plays.
He loves all the things you're supposed to hate.
This is probably the most entertaining tragedy that I've seen of 2019. That's Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story.
And it's a comedy.
It's when they say dark comedy, you expect dark comedy. You think violence and blood and you think demented storylines. Nah, this is
a sarcastic sense of humor.
Yeah.
No.
Nah, man. This is just it's a sad tale of two people who see themselves going 2 different ways in life and think that they're going to actually handle it simply and easily.
And have a clean divorce.
And this is a hard movie for married people.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
It's a wake-up call.
It really is. I was fascinated to see how divorce spirals out of control. I was glued to the screen just looking at how many different horrible directions that their lives were taken just because one person moved or another person had a career they want to do, but mainly because lawyers want to turn them against each other so they could get paid. And believe it or not, it's all funny, man. This is also an amazingly intricate script for what's happening here, for how they have to handle all these details of this divorce. I've never seen anything like this as far as a movie goes about a married couple.
I thought I was going to have to fight to get you to watch it.
No, man. I loved this movie when I saw it. And really, it's like the Requiem for a Dream of divorce movie, man. It's like, because it's horrible, man, what's happening to them, but it's funny and it's entertaining. And I
can't stop watching.
I've watched scenes of this again since it was on Netflix because there's so many good scenes. It felt so real, man.
Did.
And that's because of the amazing performances between Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver, man.
Yeah, it's been a banner year for the two of them.
It really has, especially for Scarlett Johansson, man. It's a really breakout year for her. Yeah, I for a lot of people who might be afraid that this is too hard to watch, I really have to give this movie praise for taking something that anybody else would take and make it terribly sad, and they made it very entertaining. And it's a sweet movie when it's all done.
I know.
Give it a chance, y'all. And this is at least my last movie at number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Like,
Get your lazy ass. It's 1917. We were talking about these two dudes and like, that's why y'all ass got sent on this suicide mission, because y'all did absolutely nothing. Just sitting on your ass all day.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message, calling off tomorrow morning's attack.
Take the best parts of Dunkirk and Save It Private Ryan and do it with all one shot. And you have this movie right. Did you see it?
I have not. It doesn't come out wide release till January.
And that one shot, it's not a gimmick. It's just the way it's done.
It really is, man, because you make a great point, man. It could have been a gimmick, but it's not. What they do here is that, listen, the one shot technique they do here is a great achievement, a great technical achievement. But it's not just for show. It is something that's meant to bring you into the movie. Yes. I was always on edge. No other movie this year pulled me in like this film.
I think about, I have chills when I think about how there was two screenings the same night. I almost went to the other one. And I was like, man, I am so glad I went to this.
Oh, Jesus,
and
man.
yeah, that one shot, the one shot made me realize how often you see these movies and they do cut or they give you a break. And this one does not give you that break. Those two guys on a mission, you're on that mission.
Yep. And they make every second count in the movie because of that. You're going with these guys on this mission. Martin's right. You're on this mission with them.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Characters felt more personal. Every death counted. I was ducking every time one of the characters got shot because you're there with him. I was getting shot at. I was wiping my face when it came out of mud. Shit. This one gimmick, a one-shot gimmick, they do this for a lot of movies. And we know this is not the only movie they've done it for.
No, of course.
They've done it for a lot of movies you haven't even heard of. And it could have been a gimmick if it was just that. But it's a statement about war that gets its point across by making this be an adventure, not just a heavy-handed message about the horrors of war.
Yeah. War is bad. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I'm glad I spent 3 hours with you while you taught that.
Yeah, no shit. No, they make this a thrilling adventure, man. They don't need to be this heavy-handed with it. And they make, a lot of people didn't, man, they said, look, if it ain't World War II, I don't want to watch that old ancient shit, World War I. They ain't doing nothing there. You watch this and like, that.
Right?
It's worse. Yeah, man. This is my number one movie, man, of the year. I had to think about it. I was like, man, I could go back and forth with a lot of things, but I had to just go by gut feeling. It's like, man, I sat there the whole movie and not one second felt wasted at all. And that means something. The movie probably had its flaws too. But Jesus, man, I have to say, it was an experience. To watch this, and I loved it. Now, it wasn't even on my radar when I went to see it.
Right.
Yeah, it took me a while. I was like, damn, we've been walking a long time. Oh, shit, this is a one shot.
It does take a while before you notice it.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. I loved it, man. Loved it. I remember I texted you after it was done.
You did.
Like, oh, you're not going to believe this shit. Yeah.
As soon as it's out, I'll check it. Check it out.
Should.